After Qazaa saved his village from the ghoul attacks with his cleverness and bravery, the people enjoyed a short period of peace and comfort. But that peace didn't last long. A few days later, a heavy disaster struck the village. The wells suddenly dried up, the water stopped reaching the fields and orchards, the plants began to wither, and both people and animals grew thirstier day after day. Qazaa felt deep sadness for what his village had become, and at first he didn't know what he could do to save his people. The villagers waited, hoping the water would return on its own, but the days passed and the situation only grew worse. No one knew the cause of the sudden drought. The village elder suggested climbing to the water source at the top of the mountain. When the men reached it, they found a massive boulder that had slipped down and blocked the spring. Some of the strong men tried to reach it to move it, but the spot was too dangerous, so they returned hopeless and certain that disaster was coming. Qazaa watched all of this and felt the weight of the situation. As the drought worsened and food began to run out, he couldn't just stand still. He and his brothers set out into the deserts and valleys looking for anything that could save their people. His brothers rode their horses, while Qazaa followed them on his small donkey. They searched far with no luck until they found a huge tree and rested under its shade. While they were resting, a giant wolf suddenly came charging toward them. The brothers panicked and climbed the tree, leaving their horses and Qazaa's donkey as prey to the beast. Qazaa felt heartbroken seeing the wolf heading for his loyal donkey first because it was smaller. He couldn't bear it. He pulled out his dagger, leapt from the tree onto the wolf's back, and stabbed it several times, but the giant beast barely reacted. The wolf jumped violently, throwing Qazaa to the ground, and rushed toward him to finish him off. Qazaa cried out to his brothers, but they didn't move. At the last moment, the donkey bit the wolf's tail from behind, making it howl in pain and turn toward him. As the wolf prepared to attack both of them, a thunderous sound filled the sky. A gigantic rock bird swooped down from above, grabbed the wolf with its talons, and carried it high into the sky until it disappeared. The brothers continued their journey until they found a massive egg inside a huge nest. Qazaa recognized it immediately and warned them. It was a rock egg. But hunger blinded them, and they returned to the village with a cart to carry it. They pushed the egg with difficulty and took it back to the village. The villagers lit fires, preparing to cook the egg. Suddenly, the rock appeared above the village, furious. It swooped down to take back its egg, but one of the archers shot it in the leg, forcing it to fly away screaming in pain and anger. Qazaa shouted at them, telling them that the rock would not forgive them and would return unless they gave back its egg. After a long argument, the people agreed, but no one dared to take it back. Qazaa stepped forward and said he would return it himself. He placed the egg on the cart, tied it to his loyal donkey, and headed toward the rock's valley. On the way, a massive desert snake tried to swallow the egg, but Qazaa stood in front of it despite his weakness. At the last moment, the rock descended from the sky again, grabbed the snake, and killed it instantly. The rock approached its egg and found it unharmed. Then it turned its calm eyes toward Qazaa. He noticed the arrow stuck in its leg and gently removed it. The rock winced a little, then relaxed, as if thanking him. The rock flew back to its nest with the egg, but then returned and landed in front of Qazaa, as if offering to help him. Qazaa understood the message, tied a rope around the bird's neck, climbed onto its back, and the rock flew high into the sky, heading toward the village. The villagers were shocked to see him riding the same creature that almost destroyed them the day before. Qazaa shouted for them to bring the strongest ropes and follow him. He guided the rock to the mountain spring, tied ropes around the massive boulder blocking the water, and threw the ropes down to the men below, while the rock pushed from above. The boulder finally moved and rolled away, releasing a powerful surge of water that rushed back into the fields and canals. The village erupted with joy, thanking God for restoring life to their land. Qazaa looked at the rock and thanked it, and the bird spread its wings and flew back to its nest peacefully. Qazaa returned to his people as a hero, not because he was the strongest, but because he was the smartest, the kindest, and the bravest. He turned an enemy into a friend, weakness into strength, and despair into hope. And here our story comes to an end. May God keep you safe, and don't forget to send peace and blessings upon the messenger of God.